sun. 1994, all the fun. My team said to me, you're the one. The keeper said to Zola, you're dead when this is over, and you're out until October. Zola, Zola. Well, the haters said to Zola, could you be any slower? 'Cause he left them on the floor. Zola, Zola. The keeper said to Zola, you're dead when this is over, and you're out until October. Zola, Zola. Well, the haters said it was a great game. Could you be any slower? 'Cause he left them on the floor. It was a great game. Maybe not for you, maybe not for me. What?
That's the Wonder Villains from Gerry Stoke London there. That's a song called Zola, is it? Called Zola? Hold on a second. My eyes deceive me. Why is this thing not opening? Opening, let me reveal, open sesame. It's called Zola, right, the first time. You never know, of course. Good morning. The number to ring if you want to contact this number is, this programme, sorry, is 0845... 0845, I'm sorry, I'm just hysterical today. 08459 555 678. The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk and the text messaging service is 81771. I know many of you are surprised listening to the programme earlier, hearing Nolan talking about his weight. What an unusual occurrence, but it's over now. There'll be no more talk of fat and walking and diet. There'll be none of that. And instead there'll be Indian talk. A gentleman sends me a book and he said it's called The Apache Indians. And it's a very nice book, actually. Thank you very much. His name is, what's his name? Joe McCluskey, is it? I think it is. And he said, show Coyle this book. I will, when I can. He's not here today, thank God. How small the ponies are. I had a look at that for a while, then I suddenly realised that I had been talking to Coyle Interruptus the other day and explaining to him that the Indians preferred small Mustangs, which are not the size of our big horses here. They have little tiny horses. Of course, he snorted in disbelief and laughed. And I told him that you could actually just jump up on them, as the Indians do. I mean, you've seen in Indian movies, you've seen they just jump up on their ponies. How do they do that? That's because they have little tiny horses. They're like hobby horses. Well, I'm vindicated here, and there's lots of other Indian stuff here. A gentleman writes to me and he said there were 3 Indian squaws. One slept on a deer skin, one slept on an elk skin, and the third slept in a hippopotamus skin. All 3 became pregnant. The first 2 had a baby boy. The one who slept on the hippopotamus skin had twin boys. This goes to prove that the squaw of the hippopotamus is equal to the son of the squaws in the other 2 hides. Thank you. Thank you for that.
to die. Yeah. They took the whole Indian nation, put us on this reservation. The white man moved the Indian race to build their factories in our place. And though the buffalo have gone, our proud memory lingers on. And someday when the world has learned, those Cherokee Indians will return. Will return. Will return. Will return.
That's Don Forden, of course, Cherokee Indian Reservation. Willie Drennan is joining me. Good morning, Willie. How are you? Is that the right
Morning,
microphone?
Gerry.
Good to see you.
That's great to be here.
And dapper you're looking, I have to say.
Oh, thank you very much. A wee bit cool out there this morning, I tell you.
It's serious out there. I nearly had to take off the vest that I had invested in myself yesterday and change it into something more thermal.
Aye.
Listen, you've got a new album, and I'm going to talk to you about all kinds of things. The new album is called Journey to Orion, and it's very, very, very good. It's excellent. And who are these people playing with you?
Well, Sam Davison, who plays with Taste, he's probably the main man in this album. Sam is an absolute brilliant guitarist.
He certainly
and
is.
He's a recording engineer as well.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of the arrangements and the energy about the CD are to do with Sam. And John Wilson on drums as well.
Taste as well.
Yes, so
Yeah,
I've got
Rory
this
Gallagher,
sort of
yeah.
rock and roll influence thanks to them, you know.
You see, this is good. You see, you've been tinkering around with this for a while.
Well, I've always loved this music myself, you know, but come from a traditional
Yeah.
background, you know, and never really had the opportunity to explore it until I fell in with these boys. These boys have been playing with us in the traditional Ulster Scotch bands, you see.
Yeah.
And so they liked my music and I liked theirs, so that's a fusion of the two together, you know. So.
Well, I always thought that that's what the music needed, because you know, on the Irish end of it, the kind of so-called Hibernian rock and roll, kind of, you know, mushroom and that kind of thing, and horse lips, they've always done that. But you know, the Scotch, the Ulster Scots hadn't really done that, and I always thought, you know, it's time that you did, and now you've done it. And I think it's fantastic.
Well, you can stagnate, you know, in your, whatever genre of music you're in, so you have to explore a wee bit.
No, it has to change. A lot of people don't realise that change is essential. I mean, sometimes I play kind of mashups, you know, which are people messing about with things. And there are two types of people. One type of person who doesn't like that idea because you're messing about with something that he really liked when he was 19. And the other person says, oh, that's interesting. That's a different way of hearing that, you see. So it's called Journey to Orion, the album. Now, Journey to Orion, you have an interest in the stars, haven't you?
Aye. Well, I've always had ever since I was a wean, you see. As I point out in the CD notes there, you know, I remember my father, when I was just a wee boy, I was maybe 3 years old or something, standing out. We lived out in the country, you see, and standing out one night looking at the stars, and he says, look up, you see that boy up there? There's a boy up there in the moon looking down at you, you know. So, these wee things...
Yeah, that's a great way to start people, because I had a similar experience. There was a fella, a kind of an eccentric character, who used to stand at the top of our street, and he was a kind of a drunk and that kind of thing, you know. And I remember walking up one time, you'd be a little afraid walking past him, and he pointed out to me, he said, look at the moon, he said, full moon, he said. And look at that, do you see that on the left-hand side? What does that look like? I said, I don't know what that looks like. That looks like a rabbit. I said, does it? I said, it does. He says, the man on the moon's going to hunt that for his tea. And then he saw these other features, what they look like. And there was me sitting talking to this guy, and I had never really looked at the moon before. That's a great way to introduce people into that, you know.
Well, you see, and shortly after that, I remember sitting in the back seat in my father's car, going past that Slack Corner. There was this man who was considered a wee bit eccentric, like you're up there in Gerry. And he was standing, a full moon, standing with his mouth wide open, staring, not moving, just totally still, staring at the moon. And my father said, "Oh, he's got moon madness," you know. And I don't remember anything else about that car journey. I just remember that wee incident, you know.
I wonder what he meant. Moon madness. I mean, obviously a lunatic. I mean, Luna's moon, and people used to associate madness with the moon. And that's an old traditional thing, really, isn't it?
Aye, but we're obviously affected by the energy of the moon to a certain extent. But the thing that fascinates me about the whole thing is that, going back to ancient times, people studied the planets and the stars, you know. This was their TV set. This was their computer screen, you know.
That's right, yeah.
And they used it for everything. They used it to tell the weather, and they used it to figure out what they were going to eat for the next few weeks, you know. They used it for everything.
If anything.
Aye.
If anything was found to eat at all. And the reason why I ask you that is because there's a special thing on tonight on BBC Radio Ulster. It's part of BBC Stargazing Live. Anne-Marie McAleese and Darren Grimison, they're going to be at Delamount Country Park on the shores of Strandford Lough between 8 and 10 o'clock. They're doing all kinds of things associated with that. Did you ever get yourself a telescope or anything like that, did you?
No, I'm thinking about it though. But you see, this is I'm sort of two minds about it, because in one way you can just by looking at the sky as it is with the naked eye, it's absolutely fascinating. And I'm just not too sure that I want to go round that route of telescope, you know.
Do you think as if you might turn into a bit of an anorak or something like that?
A wee bit feared of that, you know. But see,
You could be the first Ulster Scots anorak.
Oh, no.
You call
really
him a
accused to be an
Macintosh.
Ulster Scots anorak.
You call him a Macintosh.
Brilliant.
So what about now? You had a TV series, which that was on a couple of times. It was on Sketchy as well.
Oh, aye.
Dermot Corr. How do you feel about being sent up by people like that?
Well, you know, some people think that's the highest form of flattery, you know, but I wasn't really impressed with it, to tell you the truth. You know, I didn't think all that. I didn't even recognise myself, you know. So
you see, this is what happens once you go into show business. You have to take whatever you throw at you.
You have to all kinds of abuse.
Always take your lead from Hugo. If I don't insult Hugo for 2 weeks, he rings me up and asks me if he's done something wrong. Anyway, here, let me just talk about this now. It's in Delamount Country Park tonight, and people can go up, and there's now apparently the skies it's horrible out there at the moment, but the skies are going to clear tonight, especially for Radio Ulster. God has seen to it that it would be okay between 8 and 10. So they can observe Venus, Jupiter, all the usual deep sky. I'm reading some stuff here. And there's a photo exhibition of the International Year of Astronomy. And there'll be telescopes and binocular exhibition. And you can bring your own telescope if you like. There'll be all kinds of experts there telling you what to do, what you're looking at, what's going on. And of course, you can listen to it on BBC Radio Ulster tonight between 8 and 10. That's Anne-Marie McAleese and Darren Gibson. Why can I not say that? Darrell Grimison. So listen to that, and if you want to, go down. It's not going to rain, it's going to be clear. At Delamount Country Park, go down there before 8 and enjoy the crack. If you're doing nothing, if you've some kids with you, bring them down and show them all things to do with the heavens. Well, tell me about this. This is the album. Has it gone well for you? I think it's
really
a cracker.
Good. Aye. Mm-hmm.
I've been playing one particular track, which is called Lambeg Rant Rap.
I noticed.
No, but this is
I'm
what
just going to listen to it myself. I'm surprised you haven't been.
No, I love it. But you see, this is what I do with stuff. I get an album and I pick one track and I just play it all the time. And it's a fault that I have. It's a fault that I have, and I keep playing it. I try to find what I think is the best track, but it may not necessarily be what other people think is the best track. Now I'm going to ask you now, which one do you like?
Well, it's a difficult question because it depends what sort of mood I'm in, because they're all different, you know. But funny, I was just 2 or 3 people in the past few days have talked to me about this track, Till Dark, which is just an instrumental.
Yes, okay.
You know? And it's surprising because, you know, obviously the Lambeg Rant Rap, a lot of people love that, and some people just can't figure out what that's all about, you know. So, and that's very popular, but thanks to you. But everybody's got different notions because there is a bit of diversity of style in there. I'm playing around with different stuff, you know. So there's, you know, some people like the more musical aspect, and some people like the quirky stuff. So it's
okay. Well, I have to say that I really like this. So no matter what you say, well, now I'll tell you what I will do. I'm going to play that Lambeg Rant Rap again, and then before you go, we'll have another wee chat. Before you go, I'll play Till Dark before the news.
Right.
Okay. There's no mistaking that sound there, Willie.
Some do marijuana, some do dope. That's what they do just to cope. Some do ecstasy or cocaine. That's what they do to lose their brain. But no, not us, where we come from. We just do the lambeg drum, the lambeg drum, the lambeg drum. We just do the lambeg drum. For their facts, hallucinations just for kicks. Some do tabs to get up high, and some do jobs to reach the sky. But no, not us, where we come from. We just do the lambeg drum, the lambeg drum, the lambeg drum. We just do the lambeg drum. Vodka, wine or whiskey to get them feeling fine or frisky. Some run for miles to escape and jump up and down to get in shape. No, not us, where we come from. We just do the lambeg drum, the lambeg drum, the lambeg drum. We just do the lambeg drum. Levitation, do transcendental meditation. Some zoom off in rocket ships and round the orbit do their trips. But no, not us, where we come from. We just do the lambeg drum, the lambeg drum, the lambeg drum. We just do the lambeg drum. Some folk roar and some folk run to tell all the people what they want. Some folk run and some folk roar to tell the people they want more. No, not us, where we come from. We just do the lambeg drum, the lambeg drum, the lambeg drum. We just do the lambeg drum.
I think that's brilliant, Willie. I think that's brilliant. That's Willie Drennan, of course, and that's a track called Lambeg Rant to Rap. That's from your album, which is called Journey to Orion. Where can people get this if they haven't got it already or whatever?
Well, there's a few shops would have it. Bert McCormick, of course, and
Bert's
he's
a
the
good
boy
man.
who's got anything that's a wee bit hard to find,
Yeah.
But you can get it through our website, www.theulsterfolk.com. or
The Ulster Folk. That's also a magazine,
aye.
a paper, I suppose.
Aye, it's grassroots arts and culture. It's very broad based, you know. It's not just about traditional music. It's
No,
about
I've seen it.
artists
It's
and
very good. Yeah.
craftspeople, and it's about blues and jazz. It's anything to do with artists from this part of Ireland, you know. So.
Do you know something? The reason I think that that's great is because I've always thought that the damn big drum was rock and roll. I mean, it really is. It's just about as raspy and about as much about down earth as you can get.
It's primal.
Primal. That's the word. I seems to me searching for that word, and it never
Aye.
came.
It's something I often want to do. When I was living in Canada, I was doing a wee thing with a rock and roll band, you know, basically playing a tin whistle, a wee bit of fiddle music.
Yeah.
And I just thought at that time, if I could bring the lambeg drum into what these boys are doing.
See, people have done it before, you know, subtly. Kate Bush used to
apparently.
lambic Bush all the time.
I didn't know that. I just heard that the other day somewhere.
See, if you listen to Running Up That Hill, that kind of thing, and I think, I'm not sure, maybe Cloud Busting as well. You see, but she's got such an amazing array of instruments there that it's not in your face like that, but you know, that pound like. It's a lambic drum. She used it a couple of times, and other people have used it as well, but not in your face as a basis of a real
it needs
kind
to be
of.
in your face.
But you see, I think so too. I think it needs to be in your face as well. Now, what about gigs? You doing gigs, Tom? Sorry.
Well, you see, at the minute, I'm in the middle of a spate of Robbie Burns nights. Because I'm
course.
into Robbie Burns, you see, and I'm doing...
Just the other night, wasn't it?
But I'm doing 7 altogether. I just did one last night in the Roe Valley.
Well, hold on a
Arts
minute.
Cinema.
Is it Robbie Burns just not one night?
But you see, because it's just taken off. It's absolutely ridiculous, I would say, in Northern Ireland. Just every year I do 8 or 9 usually, and this year with the cutbacks I'm only doing 7.
Oh, for God's sake! What's a long may he is Taddy's neep?
Aye,
Taddy's
yes.
neep tallies. I don't speak that. But is there any particular gigs you're doing coming up in the near future that you want to talk about?
Well, there's just a couple more of these wee Robbie Burns. Well, I'm doing a private one for a charity event on Saturday night. Next week, I'm doing one for the Caddy Ulster Scots Society on Thursday night. And then next Saturday night is the last Burns night in Meadowbank and Donaghadee.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm hoping to do promote this album, Journey to Orion. Unfortunately, Sam Davis and John Wilson have been getting hospital treatment for different ailments recently.
But time is catching up on them.
But we hope to get in to do some promotion in that. We're probably going to be doing some of the Armagh Planetarium, funny enough, because of the whole influence of what this CD is about, you know, the planets and Journey to Orion and all that.
Okay. All
We
right.
hope to do some with their imagery down there, you know, doing a video, and maybe a couple of wee presentations down there, bringing in our music to and using their imagery.
Okay.
So
Well, best of luck with that, and don't forget tonight, Radio Ulster, Dellamount Park. If you want to get down there between 8 and 10, that's all about that. And Willie, get out there and do some gigs with that rock band.
looking forward to it. Aye, there's people have been asking me, so we'll
get out there. You
we'll
need
let
to
you
hear
know when they're coming up.
I need to know. I need to be there.
Aye, we'll bring you along.
I'll be there with a bottle of wine. Very, very cheap. Right, we're going to play this track that you mentioned, which is the one that you like from your album, which is called Journey to Orion, and it's called Till Dark. Willie Drennan, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Gerry.
Not at all. It was a pleasure.
on 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock and with the BBC News, this is Keith Burnside. A Scottish MP has described Lord Empey's claims that independence for Scotland could reignite the conflict in Northern Ireland as stupid and grossly irresponsible. Angus MacNeil of the Scottish National Party labelled the comments a disgrace.
Northern Ireland is badly served by politicians like you who use language like that. Rather than trying to build a country that can stand on its own 2 feet without handouts from London or Brussels, you use language like this. It's a disgrace.
A car has been burnt out during an arson attack in Newton Abbey. It happened in Ballyduff Bray in the early hours of this morning. A window was smashed and the Renault Megane before it was set on fire. The police say a motive for the attack has not yet been established. Reports from Iraq say at least 24 people have been killed in a suicide bombing. The attack happened during a funeral procession in a mixed Shia and Sunni neighbourhood. More than 200 people have died in an upsurge of sectarian violence since American forces pulled out last month. There's been widespread condemnation of a bonus worth nearly £1 million in shares awarded to the Chief Executive of the Royal Bank of Scotland, Stephen Hester. RBS, which is 82% owned by the taxpayer, says the bonus reflects his work in rebuilding the bank and reducing its losses. An asteroid the size of a bus is due to pass close to Earth today, less than 48 hours after it was first spotted by astronomers. The Associate Director of the Minor Planet Centre in the United States, Gareth Williams, says it will be close, but not a threat.
It's one of the closest approaches recorded. I mean, it makes it into the top 20 closest approaches. But it's sufficiently far away, about 66,000 kilometres from the centre of the Earth, that there's absolutely no chance of it hitting us.
And a little closer, Grant's back with the sport.
Ballyclare's Gareth Maben making a move up the leaderboard on the second day of the Abu Dhabi Golf Championship. He's holed a birdie putt at the 12th and is currently 6 under, 1 shot behind joint leaders Torbjorn Olesen of Denmark and the Swede Robert Karlsson. Rory McIlroy's bounced back from a 2-shot penalty at the 9th and is 4 under after 12. Pádraig Harrington also on 4 under after he and Graeme McDowell carded 69s. GMAC 1 further back. Pakistan are 54 for 3 in their second innings against England in the second test. Earlier they bowled England out for 327 runs. And Andy Murray has levelled at 1 set all against Novak Djokovic in their Australian Open tennis semi-final. And the winner faces Rafa Nadal on Sunday.
And we'll hear more in an hour's time. And from Angie Phillips, another cold day is forecast.
Icy and slippery in places at first, especially on untreated roads and where showers of rain, sleet and hill snow have fallen onto frozen surfaces. However, improving for the afternoon, becoming drier and brighter with some sunshine and highs recovering to 7 Celsius, but there'll still be a chilly breeze. The wind eases down for tonight when it'll become very frosty and icy again under clearing skies.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
In County Down, motorists are asked to take extreme care in and around Hillsborough and Ballynahinch because of diesel spills. The spillages are on the Saintfield Road, the Cumber Road from the Legacurry Road junction, and on the Ballynahinch Road going into Ballynahinch Street and on into the town. In County Fermanagh, the Drumroosk Road in Connolly remains closed between the Derry Lynn Road and Stragowner Road because of an ongoing security alert. And looking ahead to the weekend in Lisburn, the Hillhall Road will be closed for resurfacing between the roundabout at Ballantyne Garden Village to its junction with the Drumbow Road and Drumbeg Road. That's from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning until 8 o'clock on Sunday night. Aileen Morneau reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mandy. How are you?
I'm great, thanks, Gerry. Are you better?
I'm fine, thanks.
That's good. I was worried about you.
I'm never without a pain.
I didn't think you were looking very well last Friday.
I wasn't, but I'm all right now. Look at how lovely I am today.
Well, I know. Glowing.
Little chest here. Go ahead, never mind this.
Oh, all right. Bankers' bonuses, how cross do they make you? Do they make you see red? I mean, even you could get by on 1.2 million of a salary.
I don't know.
No?
I have to cut out in chips.
That's true.
Cut down in chips.
Well,
yeah.
maybe you would need the bonus of 963,000 then, like Stephen Hester's getting.
Is that obscene?
It's a lot of money,
really
isn't it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It is, and it now turns out that not only do we, that in fact we don't own 80% of this bank, we own 82% of it.
So it's our bank.
It's our money. Yeah. So it's a scandal. Call me at 12. Is your child a girl or a boy, or are you not telling? there are these parents who've dressing their sons up to the age of kind of 5 in pink tutus and been causing a bit of a stir in the papers. But did you know that if they were in Samoa,
Yeah.
if there aren't enough girls in a family, they just make the next boy into a girl. So they dress them like a girl.
I know a couple of people that has happened to.
In Derry, or in Samoa.
In our street.
But apparently that's right. They're called fafines, I think.
What?
I know, I'm not a bit sure about that. There's an apostrophe and a lot of F's in it. But it means way of women. And these wee fellas are brought up as girls. And then whenever they reach their teens, they can make their minds up. Some of them decide to be boys and some of them decide to stay the way they are.
It's make your mind up time.
With a difference where points don't mean prizes. So we'll talk about that. 2012, our time, our place. So it is. I think that should be tagged on the end. But would a lot more people come here if we had our very own VAT rate? Because in the Republic, it's only 9% for hospitality and, you know, bars, restaurants, hotels. In Europe, it's apparently 6 to 7% in most European countries, and ours is 20.
I know. It's
so
ridiculous.
do we need a big cut in our VAT rate?
People don't seem to realise how easy things are in Europe.
I know.
Like train. Do you ever get on a train in Italy or something like that?
Terrific.
What's the fare? Oh, that'll be €3, please. How far are you going? Only 100 miles, you know. And here, like, you write a cheque for like 300 quid to go to Bangor, you know. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
It is, indeed, neither here nor there. And one said old Andy Murray, we might have something to talk about at lunchtime. You never know.
Okay. All right, Wendy, good girl.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Good to see you. Bye.
Whatever it takes you to believe it, that's alright with me. Take this morning in my kitchen, whatever that helps you to believe. You will find me down by the river, getting high in my mortality. I'll be holding hands with my nameless beauty, whoever wants to stand next to me. All eyes on me, I'm going to the moon. Time heals, you can't see. Heads back, I'm leaving soon, leaving soon. You can take it easy, 'cause I got a mind to. Put your parachute on slow. I'll be moving into calmer waters, where all your loveliness will show. For all you're wanting me to react to. Look, no hands on this carousel. For me to be true to whatever you cling to. Whatever your heart is gonna tell. All eyes on me, I'm going to the moon. Time heals, you can't see. Heads back, I'm leaving soon, leaving soon. Oh, I, whatever it takes you to believe it, that's alright with me. Take this morning, say it walks on water, whatever that helps you to believe. You will find me down by the river, getting high in my mortality. I'll be holding hands with my nameless beauty, whoever wants to stand next to me. All eyes on me, I'm going to the moon. Time heals, you can't see. Heads back, I'm leaving soon, leaving soon. Oh, Someday we'll build a home on a hilltop high, you and I, shiny and new, a cottage that two can fill, and we'll be pleased to be called the folks who live on the hill. Someday we may be adding a wing or two, a thing or two. We will make changes as any family will, but we will always be called the folks who live on the hill. Our veranda will command a view of meadows green, the sort of view that seems to want to be seen. And when the kids grow up and leave us, we'll sit and look at that same old view, just we two, baby and Joe, who used to be Jack and Jill, the folks who like to be called what they have always been called, the folks who live on the hill.
That's Peggy Lee, of course. That's a song called Folks on the Hill. And before that was a track from a Canadian band called Ashlyn, which is composed of 5 sisters, 5 Canadians, obviously, and they're going to come over here for a bit of a tour. And they'll be in this programme playing live, I would say, in 3 or 4 weeks' time, said he, having no idea when they're coming in. And let me just remind you that BBC Stargazing Live, a part of that, is tonight, don't forget, on Radio Ulster between 8 and 10. And you can go down to Delamont Country Park outside Killyleigh there if you want to. Bring the kids down. There's all kinds of there's photo exhibitions, and you can look at Venus, Jupiter, or indeed Jupiter. There's telescopes, binoculars. Bring your own telescope if you like. There are meteorites. There's an exhibition about that, and all kinds of experts there to tell you all kinds of things about the heavens. So go down there if you're doing the hot tonight. Keep you out of the pub. And a great article in yesterday's Irish Times says a man, apropos nothing at all, about a man called Pecker Dunn. Well, yes, I was talking to a man yesterday on Evening Extra about that. There is a gala night for him in Dublin at the weekend. Yes, Pecker Dunn. And also, can you please announce that Matthew Campbell, the 15-year-old singer from Downpatrick, will be performing at the French Village in Botanic Avenue, Belfast, tomorrow night, 7:30 to 10:30. Admission £5, which includes free draw and finger buffet, kindly provided by Ashley, it says. And a couple of missing dogs, of course. It wouldn't be the same without them. I have a missing dog. White and tan miniature Jack Russell, 15 years old, has a lot of heart problems. It's partially deaf and blind, gone missing yesterday. Gone missing on Tuesday from Ravenswood in Antrim. He'd like any information he wants to return home. And a missing dog called Murphy, a black collie with white marking and a bit of a brown face, Breedy area between Waterside and Strabane, Derrystroke, Londonderry. And a person says, would you please play a song called Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee? It says, By My Heart at Wounded Knee, but I imagine that's not probably the correct title. It's by Buffy Sainte-Marie. She sings about Indian reservations. She does. I rang you yesterday, the band says, about coalmen and postmen. Did Gerry get it sorted out? No, he didn't. Of course he didn't. Don't be silly. And did you hear about this new Margaret Thatcher film? It's rated 15. It's unsuitable for minors. That's, of course, the Iron Lady. I went to see that. Listen, if you never go to another movie in your life, go and see that. But because the strangest thing, it's not such a great movie, to be honest with you. But Meryl Streep is just amazing in it. You have to go and just watch her. I mean, it wouldn't matter if there is a kind of a story, but you all know it. It's not a great movie. I mean, I can't say it's a great movie, but just go and watch her. She's Margaret Thatcher. She must be the best actress in the whole world. I knew that some time ago because I remember when she made a film called Dancing at Lunasa, which was a film of Brian Friel's play, whereby she played one of a collection of Donegal's sisters who were living on a wee farm in Donegal. Now, Meryl Streep is an American actress, right? Now, my aunties were all women who lived in a house in Donegal, and I spent my whole childhood with them. And they are the weirdest, wonderful people in the whole world. Now, I looked at her in that film, and she was one of my aunties, and I said to myself, how did she do that? She's the greatest actress in the world. And it's only when you realise, and when she's playing somebody that you know the character intimately, it's only then you realise how good she is. But go and see her as Margaret Thatcher. It's just unbelievable. I just couldn't believe it.
This song really about nothing, you know. That's exactly what it's about, kind of nothing.
It's kind of like this program in many ways.
most of it left.
That's C16, known in this programme as Sick Bag Willie. The best track ever, the best title ever for a track is called I've Started Out With Nothing, and I've still got most of it left. Conor McAteer is with me. Conor, have you got a microphone there? Can you talk?
Yep, I do, yep.
Look, he said he's back to me.
Can you hear me? The piano's here. It's either that or turn the piano around.
No, one of the things, we never thought about that at the beginning. See, Conor's at the piano, so he's sitting at the piano, he's got his back to me.
I'm listening now.
Conor, come round there, look.
They never told me about this mic.
Conor, you're joined by Jacqueline McKay.
Yeah,
tell
that's
me
right.
about Jacqueline. I don't know if you can speak. Have you got a mic with Jacqueline? Tell
How
me
you
about
doing?
How are you? You're playing fiddle, and tell me
Yes.
about yourself.
I'm from Siam Mills originally, so I'm living in Derry now the past 7 years. So, and I'm playing with Conor since last August.
Excellent. And another man here. This is Shane McCall.
Yes, I'm from Park Village in County Derry. But I've been living in the city now for the last 6 months, thereabouts. Went to school there anyway, and I've been singing with Conor this last few weeks. Also singing another Derry band called Best Boy Grip.
Oh, Owen O'Callaghan.
Yeah.
Well, that's just what I'm just about to talk about, really. There's big Derry flavour here today. And, you know, the reason for that is there's just so much talent in Derry. And people used to always say that, you know, but I never really believed that. But at the moment, I mean, Conor, you're one of the people, you're making waves. And there's at least 3 singer, songwriter, pianists that I would regard as world class. I mean, what's going on? And Owen is one of them, Best Boy Grip. He's got a track. What do you call that track? Barbara.
Yeah. Barbara.
That's wonderful. And there's another fellow called Conor Kelly.
Conor Kelly, and there's Conor Mason as well.
3 Conors.
And Conor O'Kane, who
Why
goes
is
under
Owen
the name Techno Peasant.
How many Conors have we? 4?
Well, actually, the 4 Conors have done gigs together.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
3 tenors, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 Conors.
How did this happen? It's just like almost like an explosion. Of
How
all
did
these people
everybody
coming
end
up.
up being called Conor?
But how did everybody end up at this level? Do you know what I mean? There's always one kind of guy, singer, songwriter, whatever, you know. But now there's like 4 or 5, 6, you know, in the city alone, and that's just people who are playing piano. There's other bands and everything. It's just a huge. I hesitate to use the word explosion when you talk about Derry, but there is definitely an explosion of talent.
Well, I mean, I've been playing for a good while, and it's only really recently that I've started really promoting myself, because I'm generally much too shy to do that kind of thing.
I can tell, yes.
I know Owen O'Callaghan has been playing for a long time as well. When
he's
a
shameless.
He is shameless at the minute, but he wasn't always that way. But I remember like him as a teenager, he was playing in a band called The Drugs. You know, so he's been making music a long time. Conor Mason is on his 3rd album now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's only recently that it's people are really starting to promote themselves properly.
Well, maybe that's it. I was thinking about maybe getting all you guys together, but I can't figure out a way to do it. You'd need 5 or 6 pianos for a start. You know, pianos in the round.
I'll just play the guitar. I'll be happy with that.
It'd be great if you all came in and just you just hopped on the piano and did the song and hopped off and did another one. I don't know.
I'm a complete bluffer on the piano.
Oh, are you?
I can play one song and it's the one I wrote.
Okay. Well, have you have an album out at the moment, or is it just a demo?
No,
or what is it?
It's an
I
album.
don't
It's
know.
called The Devil in the Ether.
Okay.
It's my 2nd album. Pirates was my first. I put that out in 2007.
Pirates, yeah.
Again, didn't do a lot of promotion with that one, but I think The Devil in the Ether is a better album. It's more melodic and the lyrics are better. Better harmonies. Well, there are harmonies on it. There aren't really any harmonies on Pirates. Pirates is very dark, but it's good too. It's worth listening to.
All right. Well, do you want to do something for us now, just to give us an idea what you're talking about?
Okay.
Do anything you like.
I will.
You can either just by yourself or piano, or maybe perhaps will you have Jacqueline and Shane?
Jacqueline will be playing on this one. This is called Moon Glasses.
Okay.
Well, Jenny was locked in the bathroom, so her boyfriend was sick in the hall. There were blue lights and panic and snow on the ground. The sirens screamed into the air. When her husband came home, it was all cordoned off. There were no books tuxes and uniforms. Somewhere I lost a story as you tossed in your sleep, and I thought about losing you. You fall asleep as we're watching TV, and I'll watch anything. It hides the distance between you and me, but I'd do anything for you. There's not much on the box, and it's not much distraction, but better than trying to sleep. Still I'm tired and I know that it's getting late, and the credits are rolling now. So I switch it off, and I wish I could tell you, to me you are beautiful, and the rest of this just doesn't matter at all, but it does, and we know. You fall asleep as we're watching TV, and I'll watch anything. It hides the distance between you and me, but I'd do anything for you. As you turn in your sleep, I wish I could tell you, to me you are beautiful.
Well, that's nice. That is really nice. What did you say that's called again?
That's called Moon Glasses.
Yeah, that's from your, I've got a copy of your album here. That's on that, of course. And it's called The Devil in the Ether. With the mandatory photograph of the Bussenden Temple.
That's it. Taken by
what
Willie
a nice,
Drennan.
what a nice piece of a violin there. That's from Jacqueline. Jacqueline, that's a nice. Is that an old violin you have there?
Yes, well, 1953. That's the age
look
of
at
it.
it. Look at it.
It's got a wee bit of inlay on there as well.
That's
But
really.
good
Where did you
cleaning.
get that? Where did you get that?
I actually got it in Milltown, Malaby, and it was at a fiddle festival. And there was a guy from Seattle who came over, and he was looking to get a new violin, and this was his old one, and he sold it up to me for a very reasonable price.
Oh,
so
it's just lovely, isn't it?
oh, it's my wee baby. So there
Oh,
you
it's
go.
a work of art, Dan. Well done.
Thank you.
So, and you play guitar as well, Connor?
I
Would
play the
you-
guitar much better.
You
than
play the play the piano, okay.
I had to make a couple of mistakes just to let people know it was me.
When did yeah, there were two, but when did you start singing, and when did you start writing?
More or less as soon as I took up the guitar, I was about 14, 15.
Really?
Yeah. It's as soon as I picked it up, it was it just wasn't enough to learn other people's songs. I always just had the urge to write my own.
I have a theory, and I don't know if it's right or not. One of the reasons why all these people like yourself are coming up now is because, you know, when they were much younger, like they stayed at home more than people did now, because, you know, people didn't go out all that much because there was all that kind of stuff going on, you know, and people tended to be at home a lot. Is that a silly thing to say?
Are you saying that now that people are a bit older, they don't leave the house again?
No. I'm saying it because, you know, the Troubles and that kind of thing. There was no real social scene. I'm not saying that there was nowhere to go, but you know, people just didn't go out. You know what I mean? And not so much. And maybe I can't think of any other explanation. So you had people like yourself in the house going like this here. You see, where normally you'd be out getting full. You see, and run around discos if you weren't doing that. And a number of people have told me that they did. That's the last time you'll be in here. Well, do you remember the first song you wrote?
No, I really don't. It's probably a good thing that I don't as well, because it was probably rubbish.
Well, I'd say you must be proud of that one, Moonglass, because that's a hell of a nice, it's a hell of a good song.
I'm proud of all the songs on that album, yeah.
Okay, right. Do you want to do another one?
Okay, it's a song called Things You Do for Love.
Okay, and who's going to, is Jacqueline and
Jacqueline and Shane will both be on this as well.
Okay.
And this is the first song on the album as well.
is dark and overlong. It reminds me of a Pink Floyd song. Her eyes are green, her name's Adele. Her smile is white and her accent's Welsh. And she's got me skipping like a stone. She keeps me coming back like sliced alone. Well, I wish to God she wouldn't smoke. I never tell her, but she knows. And still I buy her cigarettes. It's just things you do for love, I guess. It's just things you do for love, I guess. It's just things you do for love, I guess. It's just things you do for love, I guess. It's just things you do for love, I guess. Well, I write her songs while I'm alone, and I play them for her down the phone. And then she acts like she's impressed. It's just things you do for love, I guess. It's just things you do for love, I guess. It's just things you do for love, I guess. It's just things you do for love, I guess. It's just things you do for love, I guess.
Conor McAteer from his new album, which is called The Devil in the Ether, and that's a track called Things You Do for Love. Right, now, we're all more or less from Derry, right? Never a dull moment. And there's this big music day coming up soon, and not to mention the City of Culture year next year.
That's right.
And there's all this kind of stuff about the fla and stuff like that. Never a dull moment up there, is it?
No,
it's just amazing. Like. But the thing about it is it's all connected with music. Isn't
That's
it
right.
really?
I think
all
so.
of it.
I think that's our
arguing
big
and
selling
talking
point,
about
isn't it?
music and saying, "Why are you?"
That's our big selling point. We've so many people writing good music, and we've so many people that are just skillful musicians as well.
I really do hope that fla does come, because it's
so.
going to be a wonderful thing.
I really hope
a
so.
wonderful, wonderful thing. And then, of course, all the things that are planned for the Year of Culture next year. And I'm sure, you and your mates will be involved in all kinds of stuff, and there'll be all kinds of opportunities. And the World Spotlight will be on the place, and this is the best time to be out there. Look, is that a harmonica there?
It's a harmonica.
What's the old Bob Dylan job?
That's it.
The brace. I've never seen one of those.
Really?
I've never actually seen. How does that work? I'm just looking at it. Are you going to use it?
I am, yeah.
You going to use it now, or
I'm going to use it on the next song.
Go and put it on, will you? I'd like to see how that goes on.
It just goes over your neck.
You have to be careful of your hair, don't you?
Obviously.
All right.
It just sits there.
Okay, it just sits there, and you just manipulate it with your gob.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, so what's the? I'll do another one now. Seeing you're kitted and booted, what are you going to do?
All right. Well, this song's on an EP that me and Jacqueline recorded. And the EP's called. It's sort of a demo for the next. It's 4 demos for the next album.
Well, can I ask you? Are the three of you? Are you a part of a band, or what's the crack
I'm
here?
solo, and I just needed backing, and Jacqueline and Shane were good enough to help me out, and we play all our gigs now as a 3-piece.
Oh, do you? And
Yeah.
later on, before you go, you have to tell me what kind of gigs you do and all that kind of thing, and where we
Will
can go
do.
and see and stuff like that. But will you do this in the meantime?
Right. This song is called "Vegetarians Who Eat Fish."
All right. Yeah. I'd say no more.
He's a reckless wrecker of hearts. He's the apple that upsets the cart. He says what she doesn't know will never hurt, and he drags man's reputations through the dirt.
May your woman curse your name, may you bear the marks of shame. May you crawl across the floor as you're heading for the door. And may your lover set you free, may it burn when you pee. May there not be any fish left in the sea. You know he's just misunderstood. You must know surely his intentions were good, and you must surely understand this is not how you'd wish, but he's like those vegetarians who eat fish. May your woman curse your name, may you bear the marks of shame. May you crawl across the floor as you're heading for the door. And may your lover set you free, may it burn when you pee. May there not be any fish left in the sea. May your woman curse your name, may you bear the marks of shame. May you crawl across the floor as you're heading for the door. And may your lover set you free, may it burn when you pee. May there not be any fish left in the sea. May there not be any fish left in the sea. May there not be any fish left in the sea.
Okay, what's that called again? Vegetarians?
It's called Vegetarians Who Eat Fish.
All right, Sam. Now, you're launching your album, I believe, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night in Bennigan's.
Bennigan's is a bar in Derry, Londonderry, not too far from where the bridge used to be.
It's on John Street.
But it's still there. You don't know. Everything's fallen down there.
Except Bennigan's. Bennigan's still stands.
Those two buildings have fallen down around there. Derry's great. You know,
all the buildings have fallen down on John Street except for Bennigan's, but inside everybody's fallen down. So.
Derry's great because, you know, this is the best time ever and everything's fallen down. So that's tomorrow night. Can anybody go to that?
Yep, it's free in. It's a great bar too. It's a really.
It is actually.
It's a great bar.
It is actually at John Street, and that's tomorrow. What time at tomorrow night?
Music kicks off at about 9:30.
It's kind of small, but you know it's intimate.
It is,
but you know it's all right.
But you can get a good crowd in there.
That's right.
And
yeah.
Playing along with us will be Betty Harrigan. Owen from Best Boy Grip will be playing.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, that's going to be brilliant. And
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, Emily Whelan from Ardra, who's really worth listening to. She's promoting her EP Fred at the minute. So no, it's going to be a really, really good night.
It's a tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
I might go up there myself. Would I get in for nothing? Do you think?
You will get in for nothing.
Well, do you do gigs on a regular basis? Do you do gigs on your own, or do you do them with?
We do them nearly all as a 3-piece now.
Uh-huh.
So we're playing tonight as well in the Strand Bar again. We're playing in Derry.
Strand Bar in Derry tonight. Yeah,
that's
okay.
right. And on Friday night next week we're playing with Paul Casey in Sandino's.
Yeah, Paul's a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
You should do some gigs down here in Belfast.
We're looking to play in Belfast as well.
Black Box would be good for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to book us, just get in touch. We're absolutely dying to play in Belfast. Actually.
You're free for weddings and bar mitzvahs and
that's right.
All kind of corporate functions. All right, so anybody out there wants? No, I'm sure you'll be welcome after today. I'm sure people will be dying to have you down.
No, we'd love
Listen,
to play.
Thank you very much for coming in.
There's
yourself and Jacqueline McKay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
For being lovely and for being a very nice fiddle player. And thank you for Shane McCall.
Thanks, Gerry. Thanks, man.
And I wish you all the best. Will you do another one for us?
Sure, why not? What'll we do?
Happiness.
Happiness. All right. This is off the album as well. It's called Happiness. Okay.
I was halfway on the road to being someone when I realized that someone could be anybody else. So if the way to stay ahead is just to be part of the pack, could someone please explain the contradiction? We'll get a job and move out to the city. We'll drive in fancy cars and we will drink in fancy bars, and we'll have lots of early nights. Good routine will see us right. Tomorrow's looking bright, oh what a wonderful life. And we don't think about happiness. We don't think about the things that make you feel like it's a mess. No, we don't think about happiness. We don't try to touch the sky or think about what makes us blue. And every day'll be just like the one before. Hold your head up high and walk through every open door. We'll have children 2 or 3, either or is fine with me. It's such a pity that you can't have 2.4. We will brush away our dreams and we will cast off childish things. We'll be upstanding people and we'll talk about insurance. We'll rant about the mortgage with conviction on our breath. And if we're lucky, we might bore ourselves to death. And we don't think about happiness. We don't think about the things that make you feel like it's a mess. No, we don't think about happiness. We don't try to touch the sky or think about what makes us blue. Makes us blue. Think about happiness. We don't think about the things that make you feel like it's a mess. No, we don't think about happiness. We don't try to touch the sky or think about what makes us blue. Makes us blue.
Once in your life you find her, someone who turns your heart around, and next thing you know you're closing down the town. Wake up and it's still with you, even though you left her way across town. Wondering to yourself, hey, what have I found? When you get caught between the moon and New York City,
That's Christopher Cross, of course. That's a song called, I don't even know what it's called, forget what it's called. I'll think about it now in a minute. Some messages here, thanks to Conor McAteer, very talented, nice people. Gerry, I played in bands back in the 60s, and there were more bands and groups per square inch in Derry, Londonderry than anywhere else. It's not a new phenomenon, as you imagine. Well, no, I'm not talking about it. There were always people playing music in Derry, but there were never anybody that was really any good. I think now is a particular good time when a lot of people who have real talent. I mean, there was a time in Derry, Londonderry, during the show band phase, where you couldn't throw a stone without hitting either somebody who was in a show band, had been in one, or wanted to be in one. And on a Sunday, you could see this parade of bandwagons going across Craigavon Bridge, practically unending. But that didn't necessarily mean that any of them were any good, because only very few of them were. Gerry, you just announced you know Margaret Thatcher intimately. You're full of surprises. Yeah, thank you. Gerry, your wide and varied taste in music often makes me smile. Who else would go from primeval lambeg drumming to the sophistication of folks on a hill? I suppose a bit of bel canto was out of the question. I don't like that kind of dirty talk. Spookies. Pecker Dunn's nephew plays in Madden's Bar, Berry Street, every Saturday night. I never knew that. Stevie Dunn is almost as good as Pecker. What a talent. Well recommended. Oh, Pecker's great. I didn't realise his nephew played there. And I would like to know, are you going sentimental? Yes, indeed. Please play the mashup that includes Bob Dylan. Yes, I'm going to play that very shortly. Gerry, the rabbi saying you temporarily forgotten was long may your rum leak. Gerry, I rode my bike past a lambeg drum being fully hammered on Mara Main Street. It took me 50 yards to get the wobble out of the wheel. Not sure about the lambeg rap, but the backing singer sure sounds divine. That's Sheriff Boyle, actually. A good friend of ours. I did a series of concerts one time, and she was one of the singers. She's lovely. And but Willie Drennan, what a nice man. Gerry, please wish Willie and all the best with the new album from Amanda Robinson, and call in at the Northern Box and Fiddle Club. Willie Drennan is a star. Get that lambeg drum back up to Slemish, whatever that means. That means something entirely different, I suppose. I'd like to also say hello to Sadie McFarland, who lives in Horseshoe Bend. And you know who that's from. I wouldn't be living in Horseshoe Bend. I'm listening to Gerry talking about this event, this stargazing that we're doing tonight. He's saying it's at 8 o'clock, but we'll be there from 6:30. Everybody is welcome then. Sorry, it's on the air from 8 until 10 o'clock. I should have mentioned that. But people can go at 6:30. Of course they can. There's all kinds of stuff going on. I'm just trying to do all these little messages. I did a piece along with the Ulster Orchestra for Night in the Proms with an Irish folk group, and it involved a lambeg drum. Yeah, but it has to be rock and roll. Has to be rock and roll. Gerry, this is a quote from an old Indian chief. White man make plenty promises, but he only kept one. He promised to take our land, and he did. White man. Bad article. I thoroughly enjoyed that bit about the lambeg drum. When I was growing up, my sisters and brothers shared an attic in a holiday house, and we could hear the lambeg drums in Sandy Row from there, so I associate it with holidays. Well, you're lucky. We run a regular comedy night in the Braid Theatre in Ballymena. Could you please mention it? Yes, it's on tomorrow night. Tim McGarry. I thought it was a comedy night. Sorry, I'm cruel. I like Tim McGarry. It's Tim McGarry headlining, Paddy McGaughy comparing. Tickets are £7 in advance and a tenner on the door. Discount of £3 for being wonderfully astute. Gerry, can you please play Parisian Walkways by Gary Moore for me, Bernadette, in West Belfast? And Rose says, I write poetry, so I really appreciated the words of that last song there. Gerry, did that guy sing in rhyme alone with sliced bologna? He's the best I've heard for a long time. Any man who can rhyme alone with sliced bologna needs all the encouragement he can get. I've always thought that. This is one of my favourite singers, Mark Germino, Germino. This is from an album called Rank and File. It's called Very Lucky Man.
I come from an average town where the trees grow strong and the dirt lays brown, where your eyes light up when the sun goes down. If you cruise all night and you don't break down, you can find yourself on some solid ground. When the blues kick in and the deal goes down, I found I am a very lucky man. And I've danced with the fire below, traded downwind trouble for a bright rainbow, had miles of mercy dropped upon my soul, with tears dripping on my own payload, but like a rolling river I was bound to flow through the rank and file of my own episode. You see, I am a very lucky man. I am a very lucky man. I'm just a little piece of somebody's master plan. And it is a privilege just to know where I stand. I am a very lucky man. Now I've walked on the far left side of the highway ditch and the great divide. It's a short career, but it's justified. It's got lots of perks and it's double wide. And you can trust your steps when you start to slide. You can fall and never have to run and hide. You see, I am a very lucky man. I am a very lucky man. I'm just a little piece of somebody's master plan. And it is a privilege not to know where I stand. I am a very lucky man. I've sat in the highest court with a three-ring circus and a plastic fork, sticking witchcraft people as a last resort. Been a little detrimental to my own report. When the jury handed me a verdict slot, said we find you guilty for the things you're not. Ripped each metal off my poor chest and only got silence as my protest. Where the judge said to kill me at his request. I said I'm ready to die, but I must confess that I am a very lucky man. I am a very lucky man. I'm just a little piece of somebody's master plan. And it is a privilege to be blessed or be damned. I am a very lucky man. I am a very lucky man. I am a very lucky man.
That's Mark Cimino, a very lucky man, from an album called Rank and File. I mentioned earlier on that I'd been talking about Pecker Dunn, that they were having a special do for him in Dublin. I think it's tomorrow night, I'm not quite sure, or maybe it is tonight. And I mentioned that I was talking to a man about that on Evening Extra. It was not Evening Extra, of course, it was Arts Extra with Marie-Louise Kerr. Sorry about that. You can't get enough of this? We'll leave you with the old damn big. This is Willie Drennan.
Some do dope, that's what they do, just to cope. Some do ecstasy or cocaine, that's what they do to lose their brain. But no, not us, where we come from. We just do the long big drum, the long big drum, the long big drum. We just do the long big drum. they're facts, hallucinations, just for kicks. Some do tubs to get up high, and some do jobs to reach the sky. But no, not us, we come from. We just do the lumbag drum, the lumbag drum, the lumbag drum. We just do the lumbag drum.
That's Willie Drennan from his album called Journey to Orion. That's a track called Willie's Rant. Back on Monday. Have a nice weekend. Rock and roll.
Some do vodka, wine or whiskey to get